Did I hear that right? If you see a child in a position, basically they were saying in a locked car, call 911.
Yeah.
Then it said, if you see blah, 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 do it, whatever it all takes. I'm not calling 911.
No.
If I see a child in a car and the windows are up, I'm breaking the windows.
If the car's on.
I'm breaking the windows.
With the
cars.
on?
What constitutes a child, though? How old are we
Yeah,
talking?
what age?
You see like an 8-year-old in there, you're going to break
On
the
his
window?
tablet. He's like, he plays it with his shoe.
You might be the one to call 911 on.
An 8-year-old, I would have concerns.
Really?
Now, are we talking, Matt then brought up about a car running. So are we talking car running, car not running?
If the car is running with the windows up, that's fine. If the car is off with the windows down and somebody's waiting on their parent,
Windows down, I don't have as much of a problem with windows up and the car's not running at 8 years old. I have a problem with that.
Really? 8?
Yes.
That kid can open the door and walk out.
I would
My
check.
daughter's
Well, I would check. If I walked by and there was an 8-year-old in a car.
I mean, I grew up at a different time. My parents would have us.
Oh, my
I'm
parents.
8 or 9 years old. I'm in the car. I'm going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
30 minutes. I'm chilling in there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I might crack the door open a little bit.
You're gonna break your window.
It was
You do.
never a big deal. Like, I didn't think it was a big deal.
That's how the window in the limo got broken last week.
That's why I said, like, if it's a child, like an infant baby that's
Okay.
like in a car seat, then okay, yeah, for sure, it'd be like, yo, hey, what's going on here?
Right.
Right? Because you shouldn't do that.
If a child is 8 years old in a car with the windows up and the car's not running in Tampa, St. Pete, on whatever today's date is, then yeah, I'm going to check on it.
Okay, well, memorize my number if you need somebody to come bail you.
All right.
Bail you out.
I'm not saying that. Okay, maybe I won't break the window if they're 8, but I may, tap on the window. Hey, are you okay, or
He's
something?
gonna be like, ah!
All right. Stranger danger. Like,
He's gonna call 911.
like a danger alert, like on Randy's.
Whatever.
Sorry, just trying to do good deeds, you know?
Yeah, I got to do one before I die.
Yeah, you've done a few.
Yeah, I know that.
You've done a few.
All right, what's next for Israel?
A born fight.
The biggest fight of, his quote unquote, so everybody says, UFC career, Alex Pereira. And can I told you I have a lot to say today.
I want to say something.
I have a lot to say today.
Let me just throw this out,
Go ahead.
and then you can. So his biggest fight of his UFC career is a guy ranked 6th.
So they say.
Right? No.
Not what I said.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
So what is being said? I happen to see it, and I don't know if it's the real rankings or if just somebody made these rankings.
Yeah.
Has Alex 6th. He shouldn't even be getting the next fight.
No.
Or whoever's making these rankings should be shot, because if you're ranked 6th, you don't deserve the next title fight.
Yeah. But he's beat everybody else.
Then they shouldn't be ranked 1.
Yeah.
That's my, I don't care who he fights, but he should be
it's-
fighting who's.
Covington's ranked 1, but he's not fighting for the title again.
It should.
No, we don't want to see that again.
Well, just like we don't want to see Whittaker again, but then don't rank him 1.
Yeah. But he is 1, though. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough because of the way it goes, because, I understand.
And truthfully, you would rather watch Kamaru Usman fight Leon Edwards or Jorge Masvidal or anybody else than Colby Covington again?
Yeah, he's beat him time. Maybe a later date? Sure. Like if they do like a Holloway thing, a year passes, a year and a half passes, and Covington is still starching everybody, and then they meet again, I'm okay with that. But I don't want you to see you fight somebody. You fought him 2 fights ago, you fight him again. It's like, what are we doing here?
I mean, I get it, but like you and I both talked about and agreed, Colby Covington is the second best in that division.
For sure.
Bar none.
100%.
So again, I would rather watch 1 fight 2, deserving or not, even though he is, than 1 versus 6.
Yeah, it's just you can't sell that to people. And I understand as far as like the purists, like okay, these are the 2 best, but you just can't. There's gonna be no pay-per-views. There's gonna be because it's just gonna be. We've heard him go through his whole rigmarole. We've heard the whole thing. It's just not gonna be exciting.
I disagree. Shocking.
Yeah.
This one way, and then go ahead and vent on whatever we're venting about.
Okay.
I believe you will have more pay-per-view views, Usman versus Covington, every single time, than Usman versus anybody else. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Like I was talking to Matt about outside. Some of these fighters are loved. Not all are loved and hated. Colby Covington sells pay-per-views because people want to watch him lose. And the people that like him.
Okay.
So unless you have a guy that's heel and face, I think you're going to sell more pay-per-views.
Do you think Covington sells more pay-per-views than Masvidal?
Yeah.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
I don't think people hate Masvidal.
They do.
You think-
They love Andy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they love him.
He's just as polarizing.
He's got the star
He's
power.
just not
No,
polarizing.
no, he's definitely the star
So
power.
you know more about the people who hate Covington because it's in your kind of wheelhouse and realm. His negative side, if that makes sense.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, the Masvidal side, I see that, like that aspect, and the people that love and hate him for whatever reason. He has that smug kind of.
No, I get
he
it.
wears his Gucci track suits. Like,
Right.
So, like, there's a lot of,
Don't talk about suits because I don't want to say anything negative about Usman. Did you see that thing he was wearing?
I see, but hey,
Come on.
that's hey. When you
Oh, that's right. You're a designer.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I let people express themselves creatively.
Okay.
But so back to this issue, because I do have a lot to say on it. I've been seeing all since the Izzy fight. He's the most boring champion. First of all, Marvin Vittori went on Twitter and said, "Oh, he's so boring, and nobody wants to see this, and he shouldn't be champion. Just wait till I get back in there." Marvin, we saw you twice lose in unclose decisions twice, and that stuff that you said was boring, you looked the same in there. You couldn't touch him. He was tagging you up. You know what I mean? So, like, I just don't like. For it's one thing for a fan to go talk that way. For you that were in there twice and didn't get the job done, right? You couldn't take him down the second time for real, and you looked bad. Every other fight you fight, you look good, and you're pushing the pace. You're attacking. You get in there and you can't do anything with him, but you're like, oh, he's boring. Yeah, so were you that night, twice.
First, I believe the boringest, if that's a word, champion of all time is GSP. That was boring.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily find Izzy as boring as GSP was. And you're right, what you said earlier. It's your job, like Ric Flair said, to be the man, you have to beat the man.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, where I argue with fans is you don't have to dominate the champion.
No.
You just have to beat him.
Yeah.
But the fans seem to think you have to go in and totally dominate. You don't. You have to win 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And you have to win 3 rounds by 1 punch, by 1 takedown,
Yep.
by 1 something.
Yep.
And for a champion to exert what they don't need to put themselves in, it's your job to take it to Izzy. It's not Izzy having to take it to you.
So yeah. So they were talking about that. He's boring, and then now the consensus is Israel's going to lose to Alex Pereira. That is all I'm seeing. That's all I'm hearing.
That's because he's got a loss to him already in a
That's
different
fine.
sport
That's
at
fine.
a different time.
That's okay. That's two. They're 2 different people now.
But I don't think that. I mean, all
They
the people
are
who are
two
waiting in
different-
line for a title shot are going to get bypassed because Pereira knocked out Sean.
For sure. It's exciting. It's going to sell. It's going to sell because it's going to be pushed as this is the guy that's going to knock off the champion, right? And
Oh,
that's,
for sure.
That's the narrative that's going
Sure.
on right now. It's going to sell, so that's what's going to happen next. But there's all this swell about all this going on. Not so long ago, maybe about a year and a half ago now, they said Gilbert Burns was Usman's training partner.
Yeah.
There's a training video going on from when he knocked down Kamaru Usman and was beating him up in training, and this is the guy that's going to take him down.
Right.
This is the guy that's going to beat Kamaru. His reign is over. Gilbert Burns, let's go. And what happened? He got,
Pretty quick, wasn't it?
He
Nothing
got
with it.
starched.
Nothing with it.
And he got embarrassed.
Yep.
They said the same thing about Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane, he's going to beat Ngannou. There's a training video out there. He was dominating him. He left because Ngannou didn't want the smoke. Ngannou went out there. He's not even a wrestler. And out-wrestled this dude for 5 rounds.
And he did with a bad knee.
And with
Like,
a
he was
bad
injured.
knee.
He
With
was
a bad
injured.
knee. At some point in time, you have to learn how to respect the champion. It's the same thing. Tom Brady, he's washed. He can't do it anymore. This is the guy that's going to beat him. And all he goes out there is win and win and win. And I say this, one more thing before you go. I said, I posted this on Instagram. When the Patriots won 10-3 in the Super Bowl, they're like, this is the most boring Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life. Hey, I got a ring. I won.
Right.
They score more points then. Make
Right.
it more interesting.
Right.
Make me not have to manage the game. Make me have to go do something. You want Izzy to go throw bombs? Do what Gastelum did and go in there and go hit him. He goes, oh, I got to go fight back. I got to go hit you back. Right? Go do what Man, the Aussie. I'm skipping on his name right now. The number one contender in the division. In Israel's division. Whittaker first time. He goes in there and he's mixing up with them. He's like, okay, I'm going to mix it up back. If you want that kind of fight,
you got to bring it.
Go bring it.
Right.
Because otherwise, I'm going to sit out here and I'm going to point you up. I'm going to kick you in the legs. I'm going to slip out your punches. I'm going to tag you. And I'm going to win. So I just don't understand the
You make more
animosity.
money winning, and I hate to use the word boring, but since it's been brought up, and it's not boring.
Yeah.
It's not boring.
I don't think it's boring. I enjoy the traps and the feints
I do
and
too.
kind of the chess match. I enjoy that.
I do as well. But it's still, you make more money winning boring than losing exciting.
Yes.
And it's about making money.
Exactly. This is my livelihood. It's my job. I'm not out here to come get punched out because for you.
Right, to make-
oh, this was so exciting. Sean Strickland, they said, hey, don't go kickbox with the championship kickboxer.
Yeah.
Go wrestle him. He goes, nah, man, I'm gonna put on a show for the fans. I'm gonna go stand there and bang with him. He gets knocked out in the first round.
Yep.
It's like somebody telling Khabib, hey, I know you're a championship wrestler and nobody can
Stand
mess
up
you on the
box.
ground.
Yeah.
Hey, stand up and box with me.
Right.
You sound dumb.
Yeah.
You
Well,
sound
and
dumb.
the only thing dumber is to do it.
Yeah.
You know, one to say it and then to actually go through and
It
do it.
just sounds stupid to me. Like, you wouldn't go tell Khabib to go stand and bomb. So why are you telling Izzy to run in there blind and go throw haymakers? That's not what he does. And he's a great champion. Khabib was boring up until he fought Conor. Nobody
Still
wanted
boring.
him. You know what I'm saying? But, like, he was a champion. Now he's the GOAT. He retires, and he's the GOAT. But when he was fighting...
He's not a GOAT.
I'm just saying,
Not the GOAT.
people do say that.
He's
I don't believe
defended
so.
his belt 4 times.
John Jones
They're
is
like
my
real
GOAT.
named opponents.
John Jones is my GOAT.
Good, of course he is. He defended his
But
belt
like,
13
but
times,
you know what I'm
11
saying?
times.
Like, it's when you retire, all that goes out the window. They just saw you dominate and win and win and win. But while you're there, they talk trash like, oh,
Right.
this isn't fun. Justin Gaethje is so exciting. Michael Chandler is so exciting. They haven't won a championship.
Right. Right.
But people love to see them get punched in their face. No.
Exciting, but it doesn't make him the GOAT. It doesn't make him the
it doesn't
champion.
make you champion.
It's enjoyable to watch,
Yeah.
but it's not enjoyable to be in there. Michael Johnson fought Justin Gaethje.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys go out there and get punched in their face, and it's like, okay, I did that for who?
And that goes back to my point about how the game has changed. It's now about style matchups. It's about scouting reports. It's about tendencies. It's about outpointing your opponent. The sport has changed. But because Randy and I were at 236 in Atlanta when Gastelum and Izzy fought. And that was probably one of the most close fights I've ever seen, ever. And it was just, a
I don't know.
style matchup.
I was at John Jones Gustafson.
There you go.
I wish.
I thought Gastelum won that fight.
I watch that fight every month.
I still think Gastelum beat him in that fight.
Every month.
I still think that.
I was still at John Jones Dominic Reyes.
Yeah, and that's when it was like, oh, John is boring and this, that, and the third and blah blah blah, and so he was like, okay, fine. He probably was bored of the division. Like, I beat everybody in here twice, everybody and their kids, so I'm gonna move up. So it's like it's one of those things like when you're so great, they just start picking and picking
course.
and
Sure.
picking
Of course.
and picking, and that's kind of how that's what he's dealing with.
Right now, I'm going to pick us going to a break. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. More when we return.